Hey, and welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show. And thank you for your support. So let's get to that 200,000 subscriber number before the end of the week. All right. After last night's debate, I want to take a moment and I want to look at mainstream media's response and the commentary that went along with it on what went down. It went down in what's called the spin room. I used to be there. I know all about it. I know it pretty fucking well. I can tell you that. So let's first start with this clip from CNN of Van Jones saying that Vance lied the entire night. Play that clip.
He lied the entire night. He lied about American energy production, which is up. He said it's down. He lied about healthcare. He said Donald Trump saved Obamacare. You have to be literally
I was on Capitol Hill. He
I want to talk about that when you're done.
He lied about the insurrection. He said we had a peaceful transfer of power. He lied. He said he never supported a national abortion ban. Donald Trump is the gaslighter in chief, and this is his loyal lieutenant who came out here to try to polish up the crazy. And I think Americans need to be very, very careful. This is a very, very deceptive guy.
I mean, tell us something, Van Jones, that we already don't know. In fact, I can't tell you how many times I've listened to Van Jones talk, and most of the time I feel the same way. There are times that we completely disagree, but most of the time I agree with him wholeheartedly. J.D. Vance is a liar, and all he is doing is lying because he has to keep the lie perpetuating, the lies that are put out there by Donald Trump and others. They needs to stay on message because the second that this putz goes ahead and comes off message, he's going to get sidelined. He's going to get beaten down by Donald like nobody has ever seen before. All right. That's the only thing I can tell you for certain, that if he goes ahead and he keeps making these statements that are contradictory to what Donald says, it will be a very, very shitty experience for him, whether he wins or loses the election. All right. So next, CNN had a panel of Michigan voters. And I want to show you what someone said about not voting for a person who doesn't respect their vote. Play that clip.
Debate. And I actually want to start with overall impressions, guys, because all 7 of you came in undecided. One of you said they've made up their mind. Ryan, who are you going to vote for, and what kind of solidified that opinion?
Well, I'm going to be voting for Kamala Harris. You know, one of the stark sort of aspects of that debate that really stuck with me was when they were talking about January 6th and how Mike Pence certified the election, and they were wondering if J.D. Vance would certify the election should Trump lose. And, you know, J.D. Vance didn't really give us a definitive answer, and I'm disappointed in that fact. And I don't think that I can trust someone, you know, with my vote if they're not going to respect it.
So it's so true, because they don't respect the vote. In fact, you've heard me say this before, but there was a quote that Putin used to say, and Trump thought it was just genius, that it doesn't matter who you vote for. All that matters is who's counting the vote. Trump needs to win this election. Let me be very clear. This is not a run for the presidency because he wants to do good for you or for me or for anybody, right? He wants to do it in order to avoid legal accountability with the cases that have already been decided against him civilly and criminally, as well as the remaining 4 indictments, not 3, 4. Remember, there was a superseding indictment as well. He's running to save his own ass. So he has no intention of allowing a vice president, right, to go ahead and to fight with him about the certification of an election or doing things that he needs to ensure that he finds his way into power. I mean, this whole thing it's so hard to imagine that this is what we're talking about today, instead of our deficit, instead of food shortages, instead of climate change and gun safety. And so instead, this is what we're talking about. But then MSNBC spoke with college voters, and one kid clapped back at Vance using his high school civics class to teach this fucker a lesson. Play that clip.
We were talking, Marcus, about this constant criticism about the vice president not being able, about the vice president being in office for these last, he's already upset about it. The vice president being in office for all these years and not being able to make the change was the allegation from J.D. Vance. You said to me, I've been to high school civics class. Why did you say that?
Because if anybody took high school civics class, they'd know what the vice president can do and what the vice president can do. I want to make a quick point. Neither candidate on that stage talked about what executive action they're going to take on day one to do what they want, nor were they asked, because they know that they can't. That's not how the vice presidency works. You don't get to do what you want. You do what the president delegates you to do.
That's right. This kid's absolutely right. So, what the point that they're trying to make here is when you have somebody like J.D. Vance start talking about what Donald Trump has said, what he intends to do on day number one, this kid is exactly right. However, where he falls short is that the president, through executive action, can and will do things that normally you go through Congress on. Donald Trump has figured out how to upend the entire process that this country has utilized for 200 and just about 50 years. And it's a disgrace. And this kid is 100% correct. So then next, I want to show you a clip from CNN discussing abortion. This is great. Play that clip.
If I couldn't articulate a single restriction, I would attack Trump.
This is what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz believes, is that it's none of your business what women do with their body. And so stay out of our doctor's offices and stay out of our bedrooms.
Well, I guess I'll have to speak up for the babies. They're not here to speak for themselves. Lord have mercy.
Unbelievable. And that's exactly the reason why Donald Trump shall not and should not, under any circumstance, be president of the United States of America. It gives this Christian fundamentalist, this idiot, it gives him the ability to say stupid things like that. And this fucking asshole is actually paid. He's a paid contributor on CNN. This fucking jerk off who turned, God rest their souls, God protect their souls. What the hell is he talking about? This is not a conversation that's about the children. This is about a woman's right to choose. It's about the overturning of Roe versus Wade via the Dobbs decision. That's what it is. And they go straight into the same thing. It's like baby killer, baby killer. This is truly nuts. This is dystopian. This is Handmaid's Tale. And it is 100% why there should be not a single woman voter voting for Donald Trump or J.D. Vance. Plain and simple. All right. So let's just go back for a quick second to MSNBC, to the college voters that were there. All right. Here, there were students' responses to Shady Vance's answer about gun safety, gun restrictions, and so on. Play this clip.
Here, I thought was interesting was, Rachel, what you were just talking about when J.D. Vance said one of the ways ultimately that we can stop gun violence in this country is by having better locks on our doors. Did anybody react? You're laughing back here. No, you. What's your name?
Nora.
What'd you think when you heard J.D. Vance talk about that? Jimena was talking about how because of what happened at one of your neighboring schools here, it's an issue that rings close to home.
I thought it was ridiculous. I mean, the issue is guns. The issue is not better locks on doors.
Why doesn't J.D. Vance just turn around? First, he talked about bulletproof glass. He talked about arming security guards. Why don't we just have a panic button that if you believe that there's an active shooter on the property, you hit the panic button, the whole school sinks 15, 20 feet into the ground, covers it with a block of cement, and there you become completely until security shows up or police show up. They take it, and then you push the button, and then the school rises again. Think about how stupid. He thinks this is a fucking comic strip or something that you can just make changes like this. Oh, there should be better door locks. Oh, yeah, there you have it. Sure, there you have it. There's the answer, J.D. Vance. It goes to show you that you have no idea in terms of what's going on, outside of your own little bubble of stupidity. All right, talk about stupidity. Holy shit. Do not leave the show right now because you may see the stupidest shit of them all. CNN's Caitlin Collins interviewed Don Jr., all right? Interviews it, and Hitler comes up in this conversation. You can't make this up. Play the clip.
Environment wasn't just created by Donald Trump.
Okay, but can I say you can't blame, and everyone wants your dad to be safe. No one wants the threats against his life to happen, but you can't blame the media for those threats. There's been no evidence.
Someone
That's
calls
what drove those.
And allows people to have a platform to call someone literally Hitler every day for 9 years, it creates it.
Okay.
Whether you want to believe it or not, that's a fact.
But as you know, J.D. Vance once likened your dad to Hitler as well. He questioned if he was America's Hitler. But I want to talk about the debate. Do you?
God, Don, my God. This guy was my friend. What the fuck is wrong with you? First of all, keep the topic to where it's at. All right? Your dad always told you, fucking focus. You're talking about gun safety and gun restriction. And I know you're a big NRA guy. They're putting a lot of money in your pocket, doing advertisements, and you're running around the globe, shooting your guns and shooting animals and all that shit. And I don't give a fuck what you do. I really don't. The guy who started calling your daddy Hitler is the vice president nominee that you and Peter Thiel pushed on him. Maybe you should have done your homework. Maybe you should have done a little bit of research. Maybe you should have thought about, at least before making this comment. Look, I want to say this and I want to be crystal clear about it. When I heard about the assassination attempt, not once, then even the second time, when the guy was hiding out there, I was sick about it. I do not want to see anything happen to your dad. I don't want anything to happen to anybody by a gunman. I do not. All right? Let me be clear, though. The comments that come out of your father's mouth mirror Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf. All right? Why you want to bring that up? Knowing that the guy that you pushed on your daddy to be the vice presidential nominee said it as well. Think, you fucking dope. Think. All right, now lastly, here's an MSNBC panel of Pennsylvania voters. The reason I'm going to Michigan, Pennsylvania, and so on, why? Because they're swing states. So we're going to go now to this panel of Pennsylvania voters deciding who won the debate. Play that clip.
If you were going to say who won the night, I would say that Tim Walz won.
I wonder, would everybody say that Walz won this debate? A show of hands. No pressure. Okay. Not sure, Claire.
Yeah. The only person who came out right and was sitting in the spin room again was Don Jr., who turned around and said it was a master class of debate skill and so on. It was not a master class. In fact, it was more like a master asshole is what J.D. Vance made of himself. And I get the spin, Don. I get it. You got to do this. I know it's very important. I get it. I really do. But there's a way to spin it. How about just turn around and say that, each one very clearly and articulately spelled out their party's platform. So it's really a question of which platform is what the bulk of the American people want. That's the proper way to sort of, there wasn't like any decisive victory here, though I do believe that Tim Walz decisively won this because J.D. Vance lied about everything. But look, again, it's all about which ideology do you believe in? Do you believe in democracy in the future of our country, or do you believe in autocracy and a Trump new America? It's your call. I say you want to go with Harris Walz 2024, stand for democracy. Make sure you go to vote.org, make sure you're registered, and make sure you get to that ballot box and you put the check in for Harris Walz in 2024. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.